Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we've had a few rounds of talks from very distinguished speakers, so I hope that I'll sort of continue to keep up to the high standards. We're talking about transformation of businesses, and I think the last 3 years since I've been at the helm of this company, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, because it's pretty much like we've changed the wheels, or we are in the process of changing the wheels of a moving car, as it were. It's not easy, but it's a whole lot of fun if you sink your teeth into it. So we are a part of a very, very large group called the Times of India Group. We've had Paris just speak about legacy, so this group is no stranger to legacy. It's been a group that's been founded, it's got its foundations in print. We pretty much run the world's largest and second largest newspapers by circulation. This was our portfolio of magazines. So we own 2 of our magazines, which is Filmfare, which is a Bollywood magazine, and Femina, which is a women's magazine. And the rest are licensed products from across the world. And this was pretty much the shape of our portfolio. We were a magazine company as we were defined. Where do I point this? So in 2015, this was what our business looked like. We had a print reach of 6.63 million. Very successful awards franchise that we did, reached out to about 62 million people across. And therefore, as a company, across our portfolio of brands, we had a total reach of 68 million people. And we are clearly defining ourselves that we are not a magazine media company anymore. Today we've got, in 2018, which is 3 years later, these are the sort of 5 pillars of our business. So we no longer remain a media company. We have digital properties that reach out to more than 100 million people on a monthly basis. I think it's important when you're looking at digital that you cannot ignore video. And we've sort of wholeheartedly embraced the video culture. And when I say video, it's both short form or snack video, which is video content which is under 10 minutes, sometimes even 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And then there is the long form narrative, which is videos which tell a story, which have a series. We've built on our traditional events business, which reaches out to a duplicated reach of 1.9 billion people, because we put that on television. And we believe that a lot of our brands have unique content which doesn't necessarily need to sit on our platform. So we actually, I'll give you an example. If Taj, which is a great hotel chain run by the Tata Group, Lonely Planet and company can actually power a lot of travel-related content for the Tata. So we do a lot of content syndication. And then of course our traditional print business continues to, and I think we look at the print business as being a vital umbilical cord which connects the business and enhances the credibility with the industries that they look after. So that really is the role that print today sort of plays in the life of our businesses. It's a very simple strategy for transformation. So today, all of our brands are not just represented by the magazine format. All of them are represented on the web, on social media, and the website is essentially, a lot of our traffic on the website comes from our efficient use of social media. All of our brands have IPs and events. All of our brands focus on videos, content for whether it's TV or for web. And so very clearly the mantra for us has been divorce the brands from our platforms. The two are not similar. The brands must be at the center, and we have to be platform agnostic. So whatever fits at whichever platform, we've got to try and leverage that. This exactly will give you a very, very quick bird's eye view of how the growth has been. So in 2016, Femina, which is our flagship product, had a claimed reach of 1 million viewers on print and 6.8 million views, or 300,000 unique visitors per month. Just look at the massive transformation, because in 2018 you will see us reaching 5.6 million people on the internet just because of a sustained digital strategy. That's over almost a 2,000% growth. What this has resulted in us doing is basically when we go to advertisers and ask them to spend a little more and loosen their purse strings with us, they're very gladly able to do so because Femina is not restricted to just being a magazine brand anymore. So if you're any consumer who believes in looking at content which is focused around women, then we are able to utilize all these assets to give you a much bigger reach than we were able to do 2 years ago. The same is the case with FilmFare. While the print readership remains pretty much the same, we've seen a massive explosion on for example, if you look at the website, we moved from 0.2 million uniques a month to 3.4 million uniques. Our Facebook, etc. has gone from 3.58 to 4.53 million, and so on. The transitions of our business, if you look at just digital properties, and I'll take each of these case by case. If you look at digital properties, these are some examples that we've done. We've worked with some of the biggest clients in the world, whether it's GlaxoSmithKline, whether it's Unilever. And these will give you some examples of how we can create digital properties, not necessarily investing a lot of our own money, but partnering with key clients to help grow their businesses and at the same time help grow our expertise. So this is a small example of what we did with Women's HORLICKS, which is a brand that GSK launches. And we partnered with them to establish a connect with the bone strength that is very important, and Women's HORLICKS through the theme of a campaign that we created called Women's Safety. This was essentially the plan. So we had a plan which was microsite, it had advertorials and print, it had a social media campaign, it had a website takeover, it had videos, etc. And therefore, what the campaign resulted in was that we got about 20.5 million impressions and 8.4 million sort of uniques that came on to watching this. Similar example with Grazia. It's an ice cream brand, but they want to associate with fashion to make themselves cool. And so we partnered with Grazia. Similar campaign, it's multimedia, it's across platforms. This is a similar concept with Grazia. And I'm going to just skip through these because otherwise we'll spend too much time. And what we did was we basically looked at influencers, people who can impact women. So the captain of the Indian women's cricket team, for example, and they created videos about their own experiences and why, because of their jobs, they spend so much time in the sun and how harmful it can be for their skin, and sort of went viral. This was actually the result of this. We hit about total video views of this campaign were about 1.5 million. This is something which is about 10 times more than what we would have been able to deliver to the same advertiser if we were restricted to only one platform, which is magazines. When we talk about videos, these are some examples I'll take you about how, for example, famous FilmFare is always known as a magazine which talks about Bollywood. We'll talk to you about how we've created a chat show which sits on television, or what we've done with GOODHOMES, which is a brand which talks about home interiors. Again, there is a television show that is sitting on our television channel today. Or what we've done with MICHELIN, which is a series of videos that we've created on the web. How do I play the videos instead of the Sorry. Yeah, how do I play this video? Go back. No, go back. Go back. Yeah, you can click on that. Just go back one slide. Try clicking. So unfortunately, we've got a bunch of very nice videos which we are unable to show you because we are not working on. Can you check in the meantime, because there are a bunch of videos that I would like to show. These will just give you examples of the kind of TV properties or video properties that we would have done. Is it possible or no? No? Okay, we'll move on. No worries. So this essentially, just go back one second. Go back. Yeah. This essentially was a TV show where we took 5 influencers from different backgrounds and for the first time did a drive across 3 countries. We started off from Delhi and we landed up in Bangkok, going via Myanmar. This was a unique property in the sense that it sat as an 8-part series on television, but it also sat as a 50-part series on digital. And the result was, if you can just remove this face. No, just, okay. Just, can we go back? Yeah, leave. Just remove it. I don't know. Just remove this. Cut this off. Just remove this icon that keeps coming. Yeah? Great. So these were the sort of assets that we used. We used print, we used digital, we used radio, we used print, we had a microsite. Obviously we did some PR around it. And the result was that you had about, our commitment was about 47 million. But we ended up reaching about 104 million impressions, and our reach, which we have committed 17 million uniques with series, we actually ended up delivering about 64 million people, which as a result the client obviously is extremely happy to lose their purse strings when you're going to their next. Sorry, excuse me, can you just go back once there? Go back and try clicking on this. I don't think we're able to translate this. The next slide. This. Yeah. No? Okay, no worries. We'll move on. It's another example of another brand called the GOODHOMES TV show, and again, we've taken a print brand and put it on television. We've actually partnered with clients like Halfway, which is into kitchen appliances and kitchen interiors to deliver a show. This is an example of famously FilmFare, which is a chat show that sits across digital and it sits across television. So each of our brands actually start moving and sort of start shedding their dependence on the magazine platform and start doing properties that are available on television or on digital. Events. This is another very, very important part of our business. This allows us to actually, because we put a lot of our events on television, allows us to reach a total of about 1.9 billion people through duplicated reach. We do about 50 marquee events across the company. And what we've tried to do is basically make sure that these then become the flagship sort of properties that result in the brand's credibility rising amongst its community. So the iconic FilmFare Award sits on top of everything else, but we do 50 other events. Some of our IPs are the FilmFare Awards, the Femina Beauty Awards. Unfortunately, we're not able to play the videos for you. But what we essentially do is this map will give you a fairly clear idea of what we try and do. So we actually create a 42-week calendar in India across for the event. So anybody who wants to associate with Bollywood, all of these awards are a big award ceremony on ground, but we also have partnerships that with television. Very interestingly, we have partnerships with Facebook and with Twitter that have really helped to sort of take this awards to great prominence. And this is exactly what we have done with Facebook. So we set up a live Facebook booth, and the result is quite astonishing. You get 156 million impressions and 23 million videos in just 3 days, just because you're able to partner with a brand who needs the content as much as you do. Similar example with Twitter, where we get 10 million impressions in just 2 hours of this content being on air. And as a result, this is really the growth of FilmFare property in the last 3 years. So we're able to reach out to a massive audience, which obviously helps the clients to sort of loosen their purse strings. I'm going to skip through this for paucity of time and just talk about, this is something that we're doing with Unilever, which is managing their entire beauty assets, which sit under the brand called Be Beautiful. And this is the work that we do for Unilever. And the vision for us is that we leverage our brands, Femina, Grazia and Hello, to drive content for a client, which is helping, the expected vision is to help Be Beautiful become the Wikipedia for Indian beauty in the country. And the reach, as you can see, the expected target reach is 325 million views over a period of 1 year. Yeah, I'm going to skip through this because I've got 5 minutes more. And really, I want to end with this slide, which is, these have been the mantras of transformation that have helped us at Worldwide Media, and this is something that I want to share from you. We've focused that, we made sure that we've tried to divorce the brands from the platforms. We're obsessed about scale in almost everything that we do. So if it's not scalable enough, if it doesn't help us reach out, if it's a great creative solution that's just impacting a few thousand people, clearly it doesn't make the cut, and we don't do this. You've got to, when you're looking at digital and videos, you've got to look at building in-house capabilities around digital and videos. So we've got a very small 10-man digital team, but what they do is essentially on a daily basis, give analytics to our editorial teams and telling them what stories are working with what audiences, what time of the day do we need to tell what stories, and as a result you've seen a dramatic growth. And then we've got specialists who are able to take a client brief or to take a brand brief and are able to create compelling videos that add to our stickiness. The other thing that I think is, I cannot stress enough on this is, today it's all about partnerships. So our partnerships with the likes of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, television channels, and even ground entities like malls have really made sure that our brands are able to reach out to a far greater audience. Please understand that all of these platforms are also looking for unique content to help power their growth. And if you're able to provide celebrity-led content, the likes of Facebook and Twitter will welcome you with open arms and try and help you in terms of expanding your reach. And the last bit, please focus on yourselves as creating content that is platform agnostic. The only way for our brands to grow today is make sure that you're able to get consumers to consume what they want, when they want, where they want. And that is possible only if you're creating content that's platform agnostic, which means that if people want to pick up the magazine and read it, you should be able to do so. If people want to see it on their websites, people should be able to do so. If people are browsing Facebook, then that's what they should be able to consume. And if people are looking at television, then that's what they're able to do. And essentially, if we've only followed these 3 mantras, and it's done a fairly sort of great job for us in terms of growing our business. And therefore, from a magazine media company, we today brand ourselves as wanting to be the leading lifestyle and entertainment content company. Thank you.